This is for all of you who love little red mushrooms with white spots. For this purse, I carried the yarn on the back of the pattern, so when you look on the inside you can see all the threads. You can always add a lining to cover this up. I avoided hiding it between the stitches because the colours of yarn are so contrasting you can see the colours peeping through each other if you do that. This is another one that I made and is much simpler to make. No colour changes necessary, just make the circles separately and stitch them on. I initially made this to fit the purse frame, but turned it into a drawstring bag as the white circles added so much bulk that they make the pouch look wonky and misshapen on the purse frame. The purse frame I used measures about 2.5 inches or 6.5 centimeters across. It has an uneven number of holes in each side as well, but that shouldn't matter when it comes to stitching the pouch to the frame. Start by making a ring. You can make a magic ring, but I'm doing a chain of 4, then slip stitching into that first chain and chaining 1. Single crochet 8 times into the middle of your ring. To ensure the seam will be straight, at the end of each round, slip stitch into the first stitch of the last round. Pull the yarn firmly, then chain 1. When you start the next round, single crochet into that same stitch you slip stitched into. Next, do an increase in each stitch. So that's 8 increases, giving you 16 stitches by the end of round 2. It's important that you have the right number of stitches for this pattern, as you'll be adding the colour changes later, so it doesn't hurt to count your stitches once in a while. Slip stitch into that first stitch of the last round and chain 1 before starting round 3. Alternate between single crochet and an increase until you get to the end of the round. For round 4, single crochet into the first 2 stitches, then do an increase, and repeat this all the way round. For round 5, single crochet into the first 3 stitches, then do an increase. Repeat this all the way round. For round 6, single crochet into the first 4 stitches, then do an increase. And repeat this all the way round. Double check you have the right number of stitches. You should have 48. For rounds 7 to 8, single crochet all the way round. The circle will continue to expand a little even though you haven't done any increases. In round 9, we start to add the white spots. Here is the grid pattern that I'll be following. Start by doing 4 single crochet in the red color. After the 4th stitch, take your hook off the loop. Grab your white yarn and slip the hook back through the 2 loops that make up your last stitch in red. Loop the white yarn through. You can pull the loop of red yarn now to get it out of the way, and make sure the tail end of the white yarn has a bit of length. Then single crochet into the next stitch as normal. If the white yarn is a bit loose, just pull the tail end to tighten it. You want 4 single crochet in white. You can also do color changes by, instead of pulling the yarn through those 2 loops to complete a single crochet, pull through your new color of yarn instead. After that last white stitch, take your hook out and pick the red yarn back up. Slide your hook through the 2 loops of the last white stitch and loop the red yarn through. Then continue with 3 single crochet. After the 3 single crochet, I'm just catching the white yarn in a stitch so I don't get long lengths of yarn hanging about in the inside of the pouch. It helps to keep things a bit neater on the inside. Then continue with the remaining 4 red single crochet. Change back to white and do 4 single crochet. Repeat this pattern so that you have 4 white single crochet separated by 8 red all the way round. You will finish this round with 4 red single crochet. And in that last stitch, I'm catching that white yarn again so I don't have long strands of yarn hanging about on the inside. For round 10, the white spots will expand a little, so start with 2 single crochet in red before changing to white. After 4 single crochet in white, I'm catching that red yarn in the 5th stitch. Then doing the remaining 3 white stitches. Then change back to red and do 4 single crochet. Then change back to white. You should end the round with 2 red single crochet. For the next 4 rows, start with 1 single crochet in red, then change to white. Around the middle of the white row of stitches, remember to catch the red yarn. When you finish the 10 white stitches, change to red and single crochet into the next 2 stitches before changing back to white. You should end the round with 1 red single crochet. Do the same for the next 3 rows. After this row, row 15 is just the same as row 10, and row 16 is the same as row 9. Once you finish row 16, you're done with the white yarn and you can cut it. Rows 17 to 20 are just single crochet in red all the way round. Once you finish the cap, you can begin the head. The first 4 rows are just the same as what you did for the cap. So start with a ring and increase in a circle. For rows 5 to 9, single crochet all around to make a hemisphere shape. You should have a head. Now it just needs some eyes. I'm using black yarn and stitching on the eyes, and going over each one twice with doubled up yarn. You can now stitch the head to the cap. Use the same colour yarn that you used for the head. Line the head up with the row in the cap that has the same number of stitches and sew them together. Also, make sure to line the face up with the white spot. Before you completely close the hole, stuff the head to make it firm. Then continue to sew the opening shut. I tied a knot on the inside, then hid the tail end in the head. Next, stitch the mushroom to your purse frame. Hopefully your mushroom is a similar diameter to the frame. Before you start, make sure you have a needle that will fit through the holes on your frame. Once you find one that fits, you might find that the yarn you used for your mushroom doesn't fit through the eye. I split the yarn to get finer threads, but you can always just use regular sewing thread. Stuff the edge of the mushroom into the frame and backstitch all along the edge through the holes until they're securely fastened together. Once you get the first few stitches in, the rest is much easier. Here is the finished mushroom purse. To make it look even neater, you can add lining on the inside so you can't see all the strands of thread. I've got the perfect set of dice that go with this, so this mushroom purse is now a dice purse. You can turn it into a drawstring bag by threading a chain between every 2 crochet stitches. If you don't like the color changes, you can just make a plain red pouch and sew white crocheted circles on. So make one and enjoy your mushroom purse.